Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and I am a drone pilot, and check out what I have here. This is brand new. This is the Flywoo Flylens 85 2S quad, and it is glowy. Now this FPV drone weighs under 250 grams and it is one of the best FPV drones I have ever flown. If I had to classify this Cine Whoop into one word, I would say it fits into the category of agile. Probably the most agile Cine Whoop I've ever flown. Now of course you love the glowiness, because I love the glowiness, and the cool thing is that glowiness comes in multiple colors. Now the one I have is kind of a bluish color, but you can get it in other colors. So Flywoo sent me a white LED strip and a green LED strip, and the cool thing is these LED strips simply fit in the bottom. You pull this one out and you just plug in the new one. It's plug and play. Now of course if you don't want your quad to glow blue or white or green, you can also get it in pink and red. And it is configurable. With the flick of a switch, you can turn the LED lights on or off in flight, on the ground, as you wish to save battery power. So now I bet you're wondering, how does this look flying at night? Well, check this out. All right, if you take a look, the street lights are now on. Now this camera that's filming me is designed for low light filming. You can film at pitch blackness and I will look great. So if you want to see what it really looks like in the darkness right now, here's my GoPro hat cam. So that's pretty much how dark it is right now. I got to hold the hat cam pretty still because it doesn't like movement. GoPros don't work well in low light, but that's what it's like. It's a little dark right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the drone for a flight right here, just line of sight, wearing my hat cam, and you will see what the glowy lights look like in the dark. Here we go. All right, so I'll plug this in. Ooh, it's definitely pretty glowy. Going up. There we are. So that is pretty bright and pretty glowy. Let's bring it over to that camera over there. There we are. Let's bring it back this way. And over to this camera over here. Ooh. In the glowiness, I can't tell which is front and back. Okay, so that's something I just realized. I almost took out my leg there. Okay, so now I got the front and back. Here we go. That's one thing, if you're flying line of sight with glowiness, there's no forward backwards because the lights are all the same. All right, let's bring it back. Yeah, over here. And let's plop it down over here. Now one thing very important to tell you about this quad is that you will receive no jello out the forward camera. I have the DJI O3 Air Unit Light in mine. So this is very, very light. It's like been all stripped down, and the camera is outstanding. And I have a spot underneath to put my micro SD card to record the high quality video. So if you're on a budget, you're probably not going to buy the one I have because I have the most expensive one. This is the DJI O3 Lite. You'll probably get maybe the DJI O3 Air normal one, or you're going to drop down to Walksnail or HD0. Those are all digital. They even have it in WASP. WASP is for the people who have the old DJI goggles, you know, the big box ones, version 1 or version 2. It works with that. Or if you have next to no money, you can get the analog version and fly it around with analog FPV goggles. Or you can get it with no camera and just put your own camera in it. So since mine is the DJI O3 Lite, you know, it's a naked system. They've torn off all the parts to make it very, very light. I can fly it with my goggles too, or you can fly it with the Integra goggles, or you can fly it with the DJI goggles V2. Now, just to show you how good the quality of the camera is, I'm going to show you some footage flying this at sunset. Check it out. All right, now it's evening and I'm going to take the Flylens 85 for a quick flight to see how good this new breed of DJI O3 cameras are when the sun is going down and it's getting dark out. So let's give this a shot. So this is what it looks like in the evening with this little DJI camera O3. Now there's a million mosquitoes out here and I am getting bit everywhere. I did not bring any bug repellent, silly me. So you can see the sun is setting over there. You can see I'm over here. Go over me, miss the trees, and we have the beautiful sunset over there. Did I say sunset? Sunset over there. Now even I got the mosquitoes on my lips. All right, let's come on back. Go this way over the water, try not to plop into it. So this is what it looks like in the evening with the DJI O3 system. So I'm going to come over to me just a little closer and we'll see if any cameras can pick up the glowiness of this thing flying down the road. So let me come right at myself nice and slow. one of the cameras out over here should pick it up. I'm going slow, coming at myself. Do you see the glowy frame of this thing? There we are. Come down even lower. Might not focus on it, but there we are. And backwards and then forward. There we go. This was just to test it out to see how well it looks in the low light. And it looks pretty good. At least in the goggles it looks good. I don't know how it's recording, but hopefully it's recording well. All right, let's bring it back and we'll go land it. Now, this drone has props on the bottom, so when you land it, don't make the mistake of landing on rocks or pavement. You have to go land on something soft like the grass over here. So I'm going to bring it over and put it down over on the side here. All right, bring it down. So in that video, you saw I was flying the quad using the Radiomaster Zorro. This is the ELRS version because the receiver in mine is ELRS. If you have the DJI FPV Remote 2, well then get the Bind and Fly BNF version and it will work with this. If you have a normal transmitter by any company, it would probably work with the FrSky XM Plus version. And finally, if you have a radio with a Crossfire transmitter on it, then get the Crossfire version. Now I've had this quad for over a week and I've been flying it on and off, just testing it out on different days, and I'm super impressed with this thing. But I did take some video of the very first time I flew it, and I want to show you my reaction the very first time I flew it, so check this out. Right, this is the maiden flight, and all the video you see is coming directly out of that little camera on the quad. So I'm quite curious to see how well this flies. Whoa, I've got the camera angled nicely. Look at how fast it goes. Look at this thing go. So right now, all I'm doing is trying to see how good it is for flying around objects, such as me going around things here. I find it really zips. It's so light that it just zips. And it uses up the battery power quite a bit. I've got such a small battery in here. It's saying, oh, you're flying with a low battery. Let's just do little rolls. I'm using very little power to do the rolls. See how slow I'm making it roll? This thing is incredible. Slow. That's fast. And backwards. There we go. And come back to me. All in all, really good. My only problem is I don't have the proper battery for it. I feel so bad. This is a beautiful quad. I think it's probably one of the better quads I've flown in months. It is really good. I would say this is the most agile drone I have flown for quite some time. This gives you a lot of confidence. Like, let's just look at this little post in front of me. I don't have the camera at the right angle, but can I go through something like this? Look at that. I mean, this is like insanely agile. I would not do that with any drone, but this one, so much confidence in flying it. All right, let's bring it back because that tiny little battery I stuck on says, you know what, you've been flying for 3 minutes and it's starting to get low. Now you're probably wondering about batteries and flight time, because I have to tell you now, it doesn't come with any batteries. When this was sent to me, Flywoo said, fly it on a 750 milliamp hour LiPo battery or a 1000 milliamp hour LiPo battery, and they showed me the batteries they have on their website. I'm probably showing you pictures of them here. I didn't have those batteries. All I had was this tiny little 530 milliamp hour LiPo battery. Let me tell you, on this tiny little 530 milliamp hour LiPo battery, you only get 3 minutes of flight time. So you need a 750 or a 1000. So I actually flew this with this massive battery. This is a 1050 battery. It's the wrong shape, the wrong size, the wrong weight, everything. So I just slapped it on the top with double-sided tape and took it for a flight, and it did extremely well. And the flight time with this big heavy battery was 6 minutes of flight time. I'm sure if you use the Flywoo batteries, you can get more flight time. Obviously, if you turn off the lights, do it on your remote with a switch, or just don't put them on. I'm just going to pull it out here so they're not on. If you turn off the lights, you're going to get a longer flight time because you're not using as much power. So what I want to show you now is my very first flight when I tried using a heavy battery for the very first time. Check it out. So I have this battery, which is not the recommended battery, but it is over 1000. Look at the size of it. It's not going to fit on here. So I'm going to stick it on here with some double-sided tape. Take our battery and plunk it on top. There we go. So all that's holding this battery on is double-sided tape. Let's see if this works. Huge battery on here. There we go. I can balance it in the air. It's not as agile with the heavy battery, but I can still get it to go pretty straight. Yeah, no problem there. I'm sure if I hit something, you're going to hear a loud clunk. But at least with the 1000 milliamp hour LiPo battery, I should have more flight time. How much flight time, you ask? Well, you're not going to get a massive amount because it's a pretty heavy battery, but you can do cool stuff like this. going down. I think those are humans there, so I'm going away from them. Coming around, go past these guys. Go over Joe's car, and coming back to me. I'll try to speed it up here, go even faster and faster and faster. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm on an angle because I'm turning. There we go, and go over this tree. There we go. And let's bring it on back. All right, I just want to see if it could lift that battery. It can, which is pretty cool. Now, the last thing I want to tell you, a lot of you are going to buy this quad, and since the camera is so good up front, you're not going to attach an external camera. Certainly, you can put external cameras on this, and there are camera mounts sold on the Flywoo website for vertical sitting cameras, small ones like Insta360 Go, things like that. But honestly, I don't think you really need an external camera because this camera is so good. But I have to warn you, the camera's good and it's jello free, but if you take the camera and point it directly forward because you want to fly slow, you will get the prop guards in frame. So I probably showed you a picture of it there. And if you leave the lights on glowy, well, they're going to glow blue. I realized that when I was flying, so I turned off the lights. But you still get the prop guards in frame. So what I want to show you next is just a series of videos, just short videos, short clips actually, of me flying this early morning on different days. And after I show you that, I want to show you what comes in the box and a few more of the specifications. So check this out now. All right, it's early morning. I'm out at my local park, a little splash park, and I'm just going to fly around some of the little objects here and we'll see how it goes. This is the box the Flylens 85 comes in, and these are the specifications of the Flylens 85 I used in this video. You'll note that the Flylens 85 arrives fully assembled. Also, it weighs less than 250 grams. The camera has a vibration dampening system. My version is the DJI O3 Lite version with the stripped down hardware. Camera documentation is included. Here we have the ELRS receiver antennas as well as the VTX antennas. The carbon fiber frame has an excellent thickness for this size of quad. 2-inch two-bladed props are included. Brushless motors are 14,800 kV. Battery holders are included for a Flywoo 750 mAh LiPo battery as well as a 1000 mAh LiPo battery. And speaking of batteries, you can use most types of batteries as long as they're 2S and they have an XT30 connector. The flight controller is a Goku F405 and you can barely see it right here. The Flylens does come with a very bright LED strip, as well as a spare set of props are included, along with tools and spare hardware. You also receive a 90-degree USB-C cable, and finally a Flywoo sticker. Alright, so you're back to me. So what do I think of this quad? Well, you can tell from the video, I really like it. I really enjoyed flying this and I had a blast flying it. Now I can tell you now, after flying this for a week, I can tell you a few things that I noticed. A, these little antennas at the back, you can get some range, but you're not going to get a massive amount of range. Normally I'm used to DJI receivers and DJI antennas giving me a long range. I didn't get a super long range with this, so if you buy this, don't expect to fly long range. Second thing to tell you is because it is the light version, kind of like a naked DJI system, a lot of the heat conducting material's been removed. So if you plug this in with the lights on and have it sitting down and you're not flying for a while, it will overheat. And if it overheats, it's not going to record any videos. So be mindful of that. And last thing I have to show you, I'm going to unplug it to show you this. This is something I wish that Flywoo will address in future versions. So if you're listening, Flywoo, please fix this. On the bottom, you can see here, let me bring it close. On the bottom, there's a piece of plastic that covers the entire DJI O3 system. Mine broke, so it is almost falling off. How did it break, you ask? Well, you know, you're flying along, you're going through things. Sometimes you don't get through them, so you crash. And if you crash and hit this lower part, say that hooks onto something, it's going to try to pull it right off because it's not made of metal. It's held on by plastic. So in my case, these two plastic support arms snapped off. So this is being held on by these two plastic support arms down here. So that's something I hope Flywoo is going to address in the future because I'm sure a lot of owners are going to complain about that as it breaks and they're going to have to buy the spare part. So If Flywoo wants to fix that, I think they just have to make it out of aluminum. It won't add any weight to it, and it will act as a heat sink, which will be perfect for the overheating issue if you just sit it on the ground and not do anything for a while. So with all of that said, there's very few negatives on this quad. So I think if you have the money, go and get yourself one. I swear, when you fly this, there's going to be nothing else you've flown like this on the market, indoors or outdoors. It is so good. So with all that said, if you have questions on this quad, post them below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this, well then stay tuned because more videos like this are coming in the future. Till then, I say bye.